Sathya Sai Speaks, Volume 10, Chapter 18. The Arjuna Attitude. Eternity extends before man. Space too is horizonless. But life is short and very unsure. Therefore, man has to make the best use of the years allotted to him in this world, and try to become one with the Absolute, so that these entrances and exits may be ended. That is his dharma, the duty he has to do for himself. Know that dharma and live according to its dictates. That is the meaning and purpose of life. So, the Almighty, who has made creatures evolve unto human beings, comes down as man. Whenever that creature forgets or ignores this basic duty to itself, the rishis of India have, through the process of purifying their intuition, discovered this fact and sensed the message that the incarnations bring, the avatars carry. Many times in human history, avatars have come and awakened man, but the animal past, the demonic delusion, drag him into the mire where he foolishly revels in sensual, physical, and transient trivialities. This is a splendid chance to fulfill your human existence. The Ananda, bliss, that you hope to derive from kith and kin, from wealth and worldly fame, is but a pale shadow of the Ananda that resides in the spring of your heart, where God dwells. Try to contact that spring, go to the very source, be centered in the Atma, or God within. Few seek real Ananda. The many are led away by the pseudo-ananda of the senses, the intellect and the mind. Real ananda springs only from truth, and satya is the dharma or duty of each to himself. Seek truth, serve truth, be truth. Pursuit of prosperity cannot uplift the heart. Truth will reveal itself when the heart is saturated in love. Man's nature is fundamentally truth. His breath is fundamentally love. His blood is fundamentally tolerance. Falsehood, hatred, and faction are characteristics of beastly or demonic natures. They are acquired from society or ignorance or greed. Today, man is shaped by the head rather than the heart. It is cleverness that is admired, that pays, but peace and joy emanate from the heart, not from the head. The heart teaches compassion, reverence, humility, equanimity, sympathy, qualities that bind men in love and turn them towards righteousness and the source and sustenance of the universe, mainly God. The pursuit of property and possessions cannot uplift the heart into the heights of bliss. You are contemporaries of the Avatar, come to guard and guide. You have the capacity to catch the message and canalize it into action and activity. Make the utmost of this chance. The message can be grasped only by those who yearn to know the duty to which they have to be loyal, or else it will sound hollow and mechanical, like the prattle of a phonographic record. But if the heart is ploughed by that yearning and made ready for the seed, the harvest will certainly follow. Arjuna was the brother-in-law of Krishna. He was a close companion and even a chum of the Lord for many decades. Krishna, remember, was 84 years old at the time of the Kurukshetra battle. when he served Arjuna as a non-combatant charioteer. But yet, it was only on that battlefield that the message of the Bhagavad Gita was imparted to him. Why? Arjuna developed the requisite attitude for the reception and retention of the message only then. First, Arjuna was puzzled about his duty and was tremendously anxious to get light thrown upon it. He was torn between two paths, and in spite of all his discrimination and attachment, he was at a loss to discover what his dharma was. Second, he surrendered his judgment to God and declared out of the deepest recesses of his heart in indescribable agony, I am your disciple. I dedicate my entire being to your will. Tell me what to do, and I shall obey. Every deed must be a step in the pilgrimage to God. Arjuna is also called Partha, a name applicable to all men, for it is derived from Prithvi, earth. It means earthly, earth-born. So, this situation is a reminder to every man on earth. If only you cultivate a deep yearning for guidance about your appropriate dharma, and if only you surrender your will, your intellect, your emotions, your impulses to God, He will lead you to Himself and endow you with supreme bliss. Thirdly, Arjuna was overcome by love, though it took on the color of egoism and delusion. He felt that it was wrong and useless to kill his kinsmen, to plunge the land in misery, to slaughter the armies ranged against him. He preferred a life sustained on arms to ruling over an empire won by the sword. This compassion, though misplaced and based on an unreal sense of values, had its own appeal to the Lord, who resolved to transmute it into the renunciation of the attachment to the deed and the fruits of the deed. Every deed must take man nearer the goal. It must be a step in the pilgrimage to God. It must cleanse the emotions, correct the attitude, clarify the path, and cooperate in the consummation. This has to be the constant care and vigilance of every seeker and aspirant to bliss. Prashanti Nilayam, July 1970. Maya creates the universe. It spreads before the mind the vast paraphernalia of the objective world. It is a nartaki, dancer, an enchantress who entices the intelligence and traps the senses. This nartaki can be subdued by kirtana. Mark the change of syllables. Kirtana is the concentrated contemplation of the glory of God. Sri Sathya Sai Baba.